Peace, what's going on, everyone? This is Yane. I believe most of the YouTube productivity influencers and motivational speakers, that whole market is predominantly white, speaking to other white people, but yet adopting principles that come from the One of the problems that I have with a lot of YouTube gurus that are out here, a lot of people who are putting out these videos are not putting them out with a lot of other demographics and other people that walk different lives in mind. When I really got into this field and I said, you know what, I'm gonna start my business, I was hesitant because I didn't like the word coach. I didn't even understand that word. To me, a coach is someone that gives you a playbook and says, go do that and you'll win. Coaching is not about that. You have to get on other people's map. You have to know where are they in their life and then be able to figure out the best ways that they can, be productive and come out of a depression or deal with their trauma. There's no magic pill. There's no one size fits all. You have to find where they are in their life. I found this really great video with an amazing YouTuber. I'm gonna really highlight her in the commentary. I want you to check this video out because in this video, I wanna talk about my issues with YouTube productivity and my issues with the whole coaching field as a whole, the health and wellness field as a whole. I think there's a lot of racial disparities and I think there's a lack of representation when it comes to other walks of life that need to know the best ways that they can live as their higher self.
Message!
So, with that being said, let's check out this video and I'm gonna come back with my comments.
My channel is tiny, but I'm still contributing to this online world of YouTube productivity. And even though in my head I'm very, very clear on my issues with it, this is not something that I have necessarily discussed on this channel before. So today, here it goes. These are all of my issues with YouTube productivity. Firstly, it uses universal measures for when to wake up, for how much work to do in a day, for the fact that everyone can afford a full-time job and a few side hustles. It has little to no regard for different people's attention spans, for the fact that some people may be parents, for the fact that some people may not earn as much money, or for the fact that people may have different stress levels or even learning disability.
Message!
So this is really big for me because if you're wealthy or you have the privilege and being able to afford a healthy eating lifestyle, or if you have a nice job that can provide you the luxury of being able to apply a lot of these productivity strategies, then you'll definitely benefit. There's no question about it. But in the old world, meaning contact with actual humans in the flesh, there are a lot of people that work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. They go to school, they have children, and they're just trying to make it work. And getting up at 5 a.m. won't work. I'm dog shit tired at the end of the day and gotta feed the children, get their homework ready, get their homework done, get them ready for bed, back up early to do it again. There are not too many people at all in the YouTube productivity world that consider this when they get on YouTube to talk about these 5 ways that are guaranteed to change your life.
Very often what is not seen is that these very productive and successful people online actually have huge teams in the background which are helping them with this workload. They might even have people cooking for them or taking care of their kids or just money to afford crazy holidays to decompress from this crazy productive time. Next, I feel like productivity makes you respect yourself conditionally. So only if you do as much work as you plan to do in that certain day or in that certain hour or in that certain week or month, only then can you feel good about yourself.
So this is huge. And at its root, I think there's religious shame. The concept of sin is prevalent in so many religious teachings, and it gives you this feeling, this sense of shame when you don't uphold God's commandment. Basically, that God is conditional, and you can only be rewarded or blessed unless you remain in His perfect will. And I've seen this way of thinking destroy many people. And she's so right here. You start to really use these methods and you practice them, but when you start to fall short on them, you talk down to yourself like you're no good because you keep fucking up, or you'll never be good enough, or you won't get those rewards that you see other people showing that you get when you apply these tactics. We often need to look outside of ourselves for validation instead of being aware of our intuition. The mind keeps the score on how we talk, and the body keeps the score on how we feel. And if we don't take time to not be productive, then productive becomes counterproductive. We just chase the external validation to do more, be more. And we're not aware of what our mind and body are really telling us at times, which is just sit still. Do nothing. Chasing is force. Stillness is flow. There's something called active rest. When you're training, active rest is important for the body, and it's also important for the mind. It's important that we find those times, not just weekly, but in the day, where we're still.
Next, I feel as though it might make one think that if they're following these formulas which are so honestly given to you online, then you should achieve what other people have achieved. Although most decent people who are talking about productivity are not guaranteeing this, I feel as though over the long term it may be something that you feel as in, I'm trying to do the exact same things, why am I not getting the same result?
This is also a great point. If you aren't doing these things, meaning these strategies, if you don't have people cooking for you or able to take a lot of holidays out of the country and just live an extremely comfortable lifestyle, that doesn't mean that your attempts at living a productive lifestyle aren't working. Be sure that you don't get caught up in that trap of comparison. You know, the results of productivity isn't necessarily in what you can purchase, but more about what you produce and how you produce it. If you need to produce the time for 2 jobs and 3 kids, then do it with the best mind you can, have the best discipline you can, and the best patience you can have for yourself, and grace for yourself for when you may not feel productive or need a break. I mean, that shit happens. And you need to know that productivity is just as much about your mindset as it is results. And the results are relative to the life you're living. Be grateful for right where you are, and the fact that you are living a life of practice and mastery. We are in practice of self-mastery.
The fuck is he talking about?
So I think the most important takeaway that I would love for people to really understand from this video is that as you look for ways to be productive, you're looking for ways to live a more productive lifestyle, understand that productivity, it comes from a mindset, first and foremost. If you look at productivity as only what you do, then you'll be approaching the lifestyle of productivity from the outside in. It has to go from the inside out, because you have to be aware and be mindful of when you are internally not in a healthy space. When you're not in a healthy space, maybe you're judging yourself. Maybe you're self-sabotaging. Maybe you're running too much. You're feeling so anxious. Maybe you're being selfish and you're only thinking about you. You know, when you're in that space, I don't care what productivity exercises you're doing. They are futile to the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to be a more self-evolved you. But I also don't want to leave out a very important point to me. I believe most of the YouTube productivity influencers and motivational speakers, that whole market is predominantly white, speaking to other white people. But yet the wave of spirituality as we know it today stems from cultures that are not usually the representations we see on YouTube. The people who are invited to the spaces, the big stages. When I see flyers or promotions for events coming up of the leading holistic healers or motivational speakers, not many Black Americans and not many Black men, I'm gonna be real with you, but you will mostly see white faces. Now, I'm not knocking those people who do that. I respect them. However, I think it matters that we are not getting information from people that are considering other walks of life. I can guarantee you that Joe Dispenza is not speaking about the practices of how to meditate with the average life of a single Black father in mind.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment. and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.